All right, brothers, you're about to hear an interview with James Weber. Now, before I get into the episode, do me a favor and check the show notes. I want you to go support this guy. Seriously, he is on the elite team with Wes Watson. Okay? We all know Wes means business. He doesn't fucking play. And neither of us do on the Wes team. Even though he's on the elite team, you guys, I still consider myself a part of GP because I remember Wes and I connecting a couple of years back. Now, do me a favor and go follow James Weber. I appreciate you. Let's start the podcast. You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for men to develop a backbone, a masculine purpose, if you will, and get more physically attractive, and even become more mentally healthy. All you men listening, I turn nice introverts into fit, self-entitled savages, if you will. And you might even become a little cocky as a result of your G status. More importantly, you guys, I also show you how to flirt and date more women and seal the deal. Just look at the show notes. They are all on my blog articles. Let's get into the content. Masculine Mindset Show. It's Adam Skoda. Talking to James Weber today, you guys. Look at this guy. Fucking beast.
That's right, baby.
So, guys, I want to tell you all something. This legend right here, I'll put his Instagram in the show notes, but he has worked out with Wes Watson. And the topic for today is how to build lean muscle. All right? But first and foremost, I want to go over mental toughness because this is my favorite part of it too, is the mental side of it. So, James, real quick, I just want you to introduce yourself to my listeners.
What's going on, everybody? My name's James from a small town called Panama City, Florida. Beach boy, you know what it is. I'm down here in Miami on the elite team with Wes. I do my thing. I get it in. I stay hard.
Exactly. See, I actually did 100 burpees before starting this interview. And that's always what I do, a part of GP, right? Dude, one of the very first videos I saw from Wes was Navy SEALs. And that one is just every time I think of my man Wes, I think of Navy SEALs. So I will even do those too. If you wanted to cover that real quick, if you've ever done that move, let me know because that's a tough one. Navy SEAls.
Yeah, Navy SEAls are definitely going to be, in my mind, the most difficult portion of the burpees. Whenever we're doing burpees and we switch it up and we get to Navy SEAls, it's fuck. This is the ringer right here.
Yeah, it's such a difficult move, but that's why I do it too. Guys, here's something that I want you all to think about. This is called the Masculine Mindset Show. A man does what he has to do, not always what he wants to do. Think of that. Okay? It's fucking facts. It's fucking facts. So, I want to talk about mental toughness now, all right? So, James, what is some mental toughness tips for my listeners that you have?
Okay, so you're going to want to continue to do whatever you've held your word for. So when you make up your mind, the best thing you can do is to solidify that with continuous action, because you're going to get these doubts. You're going to get and this is where it comes in. You're going to get these doubts and it's going to make you want to act another way. But when you against that bitch mind frame, when you go against that and you do what you had your original goal set on, it may not happen in that moment, but the next day, the next week, you're going to see a result from keeping your word to yourself. And it's going to really solidify that mental toughness. It's going to say, I am right. I do know what I'm talking about. My goals are meant for me. And it's going to really, really lock that in place.
Yeah, that's so true, man. You know, a lot of my listeners, they may not have the self-belief to even hit the gym. And so really my advice on that is just work out at home, because not everyone has to know that you got in your workout, but like you at least have to keep that word to yourself every time. Stack those wins, have integrity. Like, look at this guy right here. Guys, he's doing fucking chin-ups on the interview, but he's a fucking legend. He's rocking it out right now. However, I'm going to be asking him another question real quick. So, what is your favorite pull-up variation?
So my favorite is going to be what you just saw there. It's going to be that underhand, not necessarily close grip, but just about average right there. I like that pull-up because I really get that squeeze in with my biceps. And if I want to target my lats, I can just pull focus to my elbows and pull down with my elbows and really get that squeeze in with my lats. So that's what I like it for, is that versatility. And I really can focus on what I'm targeting.
Yeah, so I love weighted chin-ups too. I actually cover how to do those on my blog. They can check in the show notes. But that is such a hard exercise in my opinion, because you're adding weight to like your lean body mass. And honestly, you guys, that's a really good tip right there on how to build lean body mass. Just do weighted chin-ups. Have you ever tried those?
Oh, weighted chin-ups, a couple of times, but those are pretty tough for me, to be honest with you.
All right, so we will get to the exercises in a little bit here, but I wanted to ask James that real quick. What is like one more tip on mental toughness that I wanted to ask you before we move on to that?
One more tip on mental toughness.
Yeah.
I would say, man, you've got to keep striving, right? So it's all going to come down to your actions. And you don't want to, even if you do, say you slip up, right? You want to not be so hard on yourself that you just fall all the way down. Like, man, I made this New Year's resolution and I just didn't make it to the gym this Saturday. Damn it. I had like a good 5-day streak and I just missed it this one day. Fuck, I might as well go eat ice cream for the rest of the week. Like, you've got to stop it right when it starts, right? And you got to continue what you've started. Okay. And that's the main thing, is you're on a path to your greatness. And all you need to do is small steps every day that are in alignment with your path.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I want to jump to the exercises now, because obviously we saw this guy doing fucking chin-ups, and I'm just curious now. What is your favorite exercise of all time? Is it chin-ups or is it not chin-ups? I'm just curious.
My favorite exercise of all time, I'm going to say push-ups. I like push-ups. My favorite of all time.
No worries.
I'm gonna go with the leg press, because I've gotten that because it just when I can overcome myself, which I've done in my experience on the leg press, it's just given me that mental, that boost that's just like, I can fucking do anything. And I can achieve that most readily on a leg press in my experience.
Yeah, man, that's a great exercise. But for me personally, my favorite exercise are shoulder presses. So,
Why is that?
because I have good shoulders and mobility in my shoulders, so I can like get my shoulders back and then kind of angle it the right way and then start pressing overhead and just adding as much weight as I fucking can. I'm actually at 45 pounds right now. I'm hoping to get up to like 65 in the next few months, but that took a long time, you guys, to get up to 45 pounds, just to be clear. But my body type look, I'm going to be real with you, with everyone, with all of my entire podcast fan base. That exercise took a long time to work up to increasing my weight to 45 pounds. And that's why, for me personally, I find it like a little bit of a challenge to do shoulder presses, but also one other underrated exercise is handstand push-ups. That's a close second. Handstand push-ups. So.
Those will do your real those will do your shoulders something fierce.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I used to be a pole vaulter, James. And when we were doing, we had to learn how to carry our full weight over the fucking bar, right? Like our full body weight. And doing pole vaulting is not easy. So handstand push-ups, handstand walks too, and that shit's difficult. So yeah. If there are any other tips on what you have for my listeners on the exercises themselves, let me know, because I thought that one was a great way on how to build lean body mass. That is to just do handstand push-ups, because body weight training is essential in my mind.
So for the building muscle with the workouts, I'm gonna highly recommend that you get a workout that you can really mentally connect with. Like when I'm doing those pull-ups, or if I'm doing those curls, like I can really get inside the muscle I'm targeting, and you just get that squeeze. I call it like a white hot, like it burns white hot, and you get that, and then you can sort of go past that. You almost go numb, and your muscle will jump involuntarily. That's when you know you've done the work right there. You really want to get into that muscle. You want that mind mental connection. You don't want to just get in there and throw the weight around. You can hurt yourself like that. I'm not saying, don't go heavy, but you really want to focus not only on the movement, but on the muscle itself. You want to get inside that muscle. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm right in between these bars. Say if I'm going to do a bench like this, just play the game operation. You don't want to touch that metal right there. You really want to get into it and control all the aspects of your workout in that moment, because you've only really got like what, an up motion, a down motion, a small pause, a squeeze. So you have so few variables during your exercise. It's only proper to really focus on everything that you're doing and do it properly, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So the way that you do your workouts is really going to show in your gains.
1000%, dude. So fucking true. Yeah. And real quick, I wanted to actually give my listeners a tricep strategy that they can do right away, because I do this just about every push day. That is tricep push downs and rope pushaways. So I'll do that as a superset 3 times. And that is extremely good for building your triceps. If there's anything you want to say on building triceps, let me know.
So I started as a 15-year-old skinny kid in like a juvenile detention, and I started with these right here. We called them back arms. I don't think they're called dips, because dips are a little bit tougher, but I continue to call these back arms. And those can be a great burnout, say after you do your tricep extensions overhead and underneath like that. You can just go straight to one of those and just say, all right, I'm going to do 20 back arms. And then you just pump them out 20. I tell you, when you get to 10, 15, it's going to burn. But you push right on through that, because tricep to me, they're more of a stronger muscle, so they are going to take a little bit more focus to really get that optimal growth if you hit a plateau on those. And I think back arms sort of pushes just past that ceiling for us.
Yeah, and even moving on to the wrist as well. Like I'll do wrist curls. You know what I mean? So I'll just take that small dumbbell. Yes, it will be small, you guys. I don't always lift super heavy, because I want to actually address this real quick. We can talk about this actually too, because I think a lot of guys, they get into their ego too much in the gym, but you don't need like a large weight to do wrist curls. Just grab like a fucking 5-pound weight and then just do like it looks like this, because I'm doing this on video too. This is a wrist curl. Okay, you just bring your wrist down and then you allow it to come up just like a bicep curl. and you really squeeze that muscle, as James was saying, right? Build that forearm, right? It's really good to improve forearm strength, you guys. Grip strength too. So wrist curls. And if there's anything you want to say on that, let me know. If you have anything on building your wrists or anything like that, because that is important in my mind because you are improving your grip strength to even do.
So yeah, you're definitely going to want to work your wrists. Your wrist size, as Wes has told me, is going to be genetic. So the size of your wrist is going to be more on the genetic side. Your joint size, it's just your joint size in general. And you really, if you have smaller wrists, you're really going to want to work those wrists. You're really going to want to work those forearms, the belly and the top right there. You're really going to want to work those, because what it's going to do with the smaller joint size, when you put on any muscle growth, you're going to look bigger because you come down to a smaller taper. So the more size that you put on around that area, around the joint, the bigger you're going to look, the better. And again, grip strength, man, I don't know if any of you've done rows, but I mean, most of the time, I fail on my rows with my grip strength, not my muscle strength.
Yeah, so in my exercise course, I have them do cable rows, but really in all right, I want to mention something real quick. Anyone on my program right now, I just want to mention that you can swap cable rows with dumbbell rows. But I personally have a really bad low back, so I don't do dumbbell rows. That just hurts my low back. But if there's anything that you have to say on that, let me know, because I think that uh, the way you do rows is really important. Because if you like basically do it very carelessly, you're not gonna like build any muscle. It's gonna fuck with your joints.
Right. I think when we talk about workouts, we should be specific in saying, like, when I say do a row, I mean perform a row, not lift weights up and down, but you're performing a row. So when you perform a row, the risk of injury is very, very, very minimal. When you're throwing weights up and down, the risk becomes much greater. But when you do a proper, say, like I like to do barbell rows. When you do a proper row and you get into that position, you know, you're gonna, I mean, I feel that in my back right there. You should be able to do this and feel that squeeze before even having any kind of weight in your hand.
Yeah.
You should be able to feel the motion, feel the squeeze in the body part you're targeting.
Yeah, so the row variation I was talking about is on the bench though, not the barbell. That one is fine. I can do that just fine. But yeah, the dumbbell row for me does hurt my low back.
Are
But
you talking about the one you put your knee up and you go like,
yeah,
like
yep, yeah.
I never, listen, I try to do those. I have never once felt the squeeze on my left. I just can't get it on my left lat, and on my right, I barely ever feel that squeeze. So I've eliminated those entirely. I don't like those at all.
Yeah, and that's why I don't really suggest that either. In my opinion, cable rows are really, really fucking effective, if not more effective than dumbbell rows, due to the fact that you're getting a good extension when you do the row, like all the way back here. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing this on video too, you guys. So, as James was saying, get that lat squeeze. Any type of movement that you're doing, it's mind muscle. It's your mind and your muscle. You have to focus on the mind muscle connection. So, all right. So moving down to the lower body real quick, and then we can jump to recovery. You were mentioning leg presses, right? My go-to
Yeah.
is deadlifts. I love deadlifts, but squats are tricky because I have very weak knees. I will be real with all my listeners. I have very weak knees. So, but if there's anything that you want to say on squats or deadlifts, let me know.
So squats, I did my first squat ever in the gym with Wes Watson. I had never done a proper squat, to my knowledge, in my life. I'd always been scared. I always did something else, or I did the Smith machine, and I found out I was doing the Smith machine improperly. So when I got in there, oh my God, um, it's Memorial Day weekend. They got some big planes in the air right now. So aside from that, uh, when I get in there to do squats, it is like going to the altar. It is a religion. You go in there, right? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to lock all of your muscles from your ass to your calves. You're gonna want to ground yourself into the floor. Grab that bar, make it an extension of yourself, and you don't want to break that even when you get under it. And when you walk out, you want to keep that rigidness. You should look like you have stilts strapped to your legs, and you only break that when you go down and you get parallel and you thrust up. And when you do that, you're gonna feel like you're gonna know when you've done a squat. It's gonna click in your mind like, oh, this is a squat. And it's a whole dynamic mechanical movement, and it does take a lot of focus to do a proper squat. In my mind, a squat is going to be an advanced. It's going to be an advanced technique. It really is. It's simple. It really should be watched by somebody that knows what they're doing, who can correct you, and it's really something that you're going to want to study, and you're going to want to just do the bar or just body weight squats and really get that. When it clicks, you'll know. If you've attempted squats and you go and you just look up like Olympic squat technique, and when you get that, when it clicks in your mind, like you get that mind muscle connection with the squat, you're gonna know it. Okay, and then you can start slowly adding weight. It's definitely going to be a slow build exercise, and you're definitely going to that's the one that you're going to want to put the most patience and the most discipline on, because a squat is a squat. You don't just want to pump heavy weight up and down. That's how people get injured. You want to do a squat. And so it's definitely a slow build up exercise.
Definitely. So, about what James said on that, you guys, is some people have commented on like the videos of my exercise course, right? And here's what they would say to me. They're like, Adam, you're showing this on the Smith machine. Why can't you show it in like your regular barbell squats where you're in like a gym that has no Smith machines? And I tell them always, like, guys, this is a hard exercise, as James was saying, right? And so you have to really pay the fuck attention to your body and not jump to regular squats without the Smith machine. Like, that's really, I just want to fucking communicate that to all my listeners right now, because that's really fucking important. What James said is so important. So take into consideration your fitness level, because you should not jump to something that is pretty fucking advanced and you're not even taking into consideration how to do the move. So first, start out with the Smith machine, and don't be nervous to do that too, because you're thinking, oh, what are these other guys going to think of me? Fuck that shit. Comparison's bullshit. That's weakness. But anyways, we can talk about that here in a second, but I want to get to deadlifts now. What are your thoughts on deadlifts, and how do you do them?
So deadlifts, I do them with moderate and lighter weight on deadlifts, and then maybe 1 or 2 reps on heavy. I like them. I feel them. I feel. I actually, I'm gonna take that back. I do stiff-legged deadlifts. I like those for my hamstrings. Other than that, I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to deadlifts. I have nobody's again. That's one of the ones I haven't really learned or taken the time to properly teach myself. So I sort of steer away from those until I steer away from things until I truly uh, put the time in to get it down. But they work really well.
Yeah, yeah. Stiff leg deadlifts, you guys, is highly powerful to build hamstring strength. Yes, that's the muscle group that you're targeting when you do stiff leg deadlifts. And yes, you guys, that move is programmed into my course too. So, but also one more thing I want to mention is prone leg curls. That's actually my favorite lower body move. You know that? Favorites. I love prone leg
Yeah.
curls, dude. I love that one. It's I don't know what it is about that move. I used to hate it at first, but it's been like it's those exercises that you don't like at first because it fucking hurts, but then you just learn to embrace the suck. That in my mind, like that's how it was for me in pull-ups too. That's my favorite upper body move, right there. Shoulder presses in pull-ups. But also when it comes to lower body, pro leg curl all the way. I'm doing that all day long. I love that fucking move. Love that move. So
Love those too, man. Those you can really feel them. Another thing with the prone leg curl is you have I want to say it's 3 heads on your hamstrings, and doing that prone leg curl is one of the only ways to hit that lower head on the hamstring. No other exercise is going to hit it. You have to do a leg curl type exercise.
yeah. So with that said, you guys, I want to actually touch upon recovery. What is your go-to recovery method, James?
Naps,
Naps?
naps.
You know, it's funny you mention it. I had a very early podcast where I mentioned how I met someone named Chris Downing. He actually said that when he was talking to LeBron James, you guys, this is something very interesting. Chris Downing actually met LeBron James, and what Chris told me is that LeBron does take naps prior to playing his games. Just something to really think about. So James is onto something there on taking naps. But however, what I use, you guys, is the foam roller for recovery. That's what I want to touch upon. Have you ever used a foam roller before?
I've not.
So give it a shot. It's called SMFR, self myofascial release. The foam roller is you. All right, I can mention this to you guys because I have used the foam roller for years. True true story. Years ago, I actually pulled a back muscle. That was like one of the first injuries I ever got in my life, and the foam roller healed my back, James. Healed it, completely healed it. So I recommend the foam roller. Um, you find that spot on your lat, for example, that hurts. And a lot of people, they want to run away from pain. Like, no, fuck that. That's some beta bullshit. Like, you want to find that sore spot and then sit on it. That's how you foam roll. Find that sore spot and then sit on that sore spot. That's how you roll out that soreness that you have. Because a lot of people, they want to just get a massage. But the foam roller is like a self-massage tool. So you're not blowing out all of your wallet to go get an actual massage. So that's foam rolling for you. Now, now you said naps. Is there anything else, or I'm just curious?
Uh, Food. So I'm big on micronutrients, macronutrients. I think, food is definitely going to be what you need to recover. Food and sleep, even though we don't get that much sleep over here. And also rest days. Well, I've noticed that, so I work out for my mentality, but I have noticed that even though I have worked out every single day, in a 40-day time span, I gained 15 pounds, 10 of which were solid skeletal muscle mass pounds, according to the total body scan. So I know what I'm doing works. I'd probably gain even more if I took rest days in between my workouts and such, and and let that time for to grow and recover. But I'm a hard gainer. I work out 7 days a week, and I still have immaculate gains, and I attribute that to my micronutrients in my food.
Fuck yeah. Guys, anyone who dials in their macros, you're gonna get fit. That's just the facts. Like, it doesn't matter what program you're doing. If you're working with James or if you're working with me, like it doesn't matter who you're working with. If you don't consume the right macros, you're not going to get the muscle that you want. So macros is super fucking important. Super fucking important. So what I would say on that also too is micronutrients. I do take vitamins too, like fish oil, Animal Pack. Are you familiar with Animal Pack?
Not entirely. Is it like a desiccated?
So it's a multivitamin.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, you're getting everything. Like, I remember, actually, there's someone in the West community. I want to say his name is Diego or something like that. Do you know him? Diego.
But,
Does the name sound familiar? He
but
he takes Animal Pack too. Just something to really think about, you guys, is that brand. It's really fucking good. Really fucking good. You're actually getting all the big micronutrients to fuel your body because, in my opinion, getting the right micronutrients does matter. So Animal Pack, really fucking powerful stuff. So, and yeah, we're getting down to the end of this podcast. So if you have anything else on like micronutrients or like how the way you eat food, like what you eat throughout the day, just let my listeners know and we can wrap this bad boy up.
yeah, so for macros, I really focus on getting all of my macros from a whole food source. The only things that you could really really could warrant supplementation is going to be your omega 3s from the fatty fishes, and it's going to be magnesium. Those are going to be the two things that you might want to just for guaranteed include. But you can get all your micronutrients from food. That's what my meal plan. That's what my meal plan targets. I have a foundation of micronutrients, and then I tally those macros in from my micros. But I make sure I hit all of my macros, my potassium, my iodine. You got to have your thyroid functioning to build muscle. We have all these things that we don't really consider, and it's extremely important. Like potassium, you got to get damn near 5,000 milligrams in a day. That's why you see spinach a part of so many bodybuilder diets. So there's different ways to get your potassium. I do squash because that's what I like, and sun-dried tomatoes. But these are things that you've got to incorporate every single day, and especially if you're a hard gainer, because it's really going to make that difference. It's what your body's been needing to complete the muscle protein synthesis process. You need those micronutrients for your body to complete that process and really start packing on the weight when you go to sleep.
Exactly. Dude, that's a great place to wrap up on. You guys, I'm going to put James's Instagram in the show notes. So please go follow this guy. Seriously, he works out with Wes Watson. Like, honestly, I want you all to just check out his profile, because one other thing I noticed about James is he does give dating advice. And that is something that is fucking badass. I was just commenting on that before the interview. So go give James a follow. James Weber, I believe it's Life in Luxury or something like that, right?
Life beyond luxury.
Life Beyond Luxury. Got it. So I'll put his Instagram in the show notes. And you guys, again, Masculine Mindset Show, please leave me a 5-star review with words behind it. If you have any coaching programs that they can hop on, let my listeners know too.
Yeah, right in the link. You can find it right in my bio.
Sweet. You guys work with this guy, and honestly, it doesn't matter who you work with. Just remember to always work out every fucking day. I love you guys. Peace the fuck out.